Hello, got another story for you. This one is called What Are Friends For? The author is Sally Grindley, and the illustrator or artist that draws the pictures is Penny Dan. They're both from England. And I was showing a little friend of mine, a little girl, the other day, these pictures on the picture on the front and introducing her to these two friends. This friendly looking bear is Jefferson Bear. And sometimes in the book, his other friend here, the fox, calls him JB because his name is Jefferson, Jefferson J. Bear, bear, B, right? JB, and it's a little easier to say. However, the fox has a name that's a little long too, but they don't abbreviate it or shorten it and give him a nickname. They just say his whole name, which is Figgy Two Socks, which is kind of a funny name. I don't think you can see real well. Maybe you can in this picture. He's got a reddish fur with white accents. A little tip on his tail is white, and there's white fur here and there inside his ears. And his feet are black fur, but the two front feet around the paws or near the paws are white. And it looks like a pair of white socks, even though it's white fur. It's just kind of cute. So here's a picture again of these two friends smiling at each other. They look nice, don't they? They look like they would be nice friends. Do you have some friends? Yeah. Sometimes now we can't see all those friends or make new ones because of the sickness. I know. But someday things will be better. And we're going to look forward to that. And we can be together. We can be in our schools, playgrounds, and some of the fun places we like to go to. And we're going to look forward to that and pray that God gets us through this challenging time. And one of the ways we do that is by sharing stories. So let's read this story. Here's our friends again. Remember their names? Jefferson Bear and Figgy Two Socks. Jefferson Bear and Figgy Two Socks went walking one day in the sunny green woods. JB, remember that's Jefferson Bear nickname? JB asked Figgy Two Socks, "Are you my friend?" What do you think he said? Yeah. "Well, yes," said Jefferson Bear. "I am your friend, and you are my friend." "But what is a friend for?" asked Figgy Two Socks. "Well," said Jefferson Bear, "a friend is for playing." See how they're sitting together talking? There's JB and there's Figgy. "Goody," said Figgy when he heard that it was a friend was for playing, said Figgy Two Socks. "Let's play hide and go seek. Do you like that game?" Mm-hmm. "All right," said Jefferson Bear. "You hide first." So here they are. He's all happy to think about that game. There he's gonna go hide. What's JB doing? Isn't that cute? He's covering his eyes. Remember, you're supposed to cover your eyes and not look. And sometimes we count to 10, right? Okay, oops, before I show you the picture, I'm going to read just a little bit. Figgy Two Socks hid in a hollow tree. Do you know how sometimes trees have a little hole in them? I'm going to show you that. Whoops. There he is in a little tree. It's hard to see him. He's kind of peeking out a little bit, but it's not easy to find, is it? And here is Jefferson Bear. He's already counted and covered his eyes. He's looking under rocks. He's looking all over the place, but he cannot find him. In the grass, whoop, what did he find? A frog. That wasn't Figgy Two Socks. He just couldn't find her. I said him. It's her. Figgy's a girl. Sorry about that. When it was his turn, Jefferson Bear hid behind a tree stump. You know, when a tree has been fallen down or been cut down, you have a little stump sticking out of the ground, and he hid behind it. Now, tell me, do you think that would be easier to find if a big bear hid behind a little stump? Or do you think it'd be easier to find a little fox that hid in a hole in a tree? Right. The fox in the tree would be a lot harder, wouldn't it? And a big bear is too big to hide behind a stump. Because he's so big, he has to find a bigger spot to hide, but that's hard to find, right? So when it was his turn to hide, Figgy Two Socks found him straight away. Means quickly. "You're better at this than me," said Jefferson Bear. "I'll help you this time," said Vicky Two Socks, and she hid under a pile of leaves. But what did she leave? She left the tip of her little ear with the white inside sticking out of the leaves, so that when Jefferson Bear looked, there she is. That was nice of her, wasn't it? Well, the very next day, Figgy Two Socks asked, "JB, what else is a friend for?" "Well," said Jefferson Bear, scratching his head, "a friend is for sharing." "We share, don't we, JB? We share the sky and the hills and the trees." "Yes," said Jefferson Bear, "we share lots of things." "What do best friends share?" asked Figgy Two Socks. See how they're sitting? Oh, there they are. They're sitting on the top of a hill looking out over a beautiful landscape. That means it's a beautiful stretch of land with some mountains and trees. It looks like it's fall because the trees are turning color. They have a great view there as they talk about friends sharing. They're sharing looking at the beautiful view together, aren't they? Well, Figgy had just asked, "What do best friends share?" And Jefferson Bear says, "Well, best friends share their favorite things." So Figgy Two Socks thought about this, then darted into the woods. What do you think he got? She got. I keep saying that, sorry. When she came back, she was tugging an enormous bramble covered with blackberries. Look at that. She's got it in her mouth. It's a bramble. That means like a piece of a bush that kind of grows in the woods, and it's kind of all connected and hard to separate. So instead of taking some of the berries off, she took the whole big branch and tugged it over to her friend, and look at how she's popping a berry in his mouth every now and then. Isn't that cute? So here she comes with the blackberries, and she says, "Would you like some, JB?" she said. "Blackberries are my favorites. Yummy, aren't they?" And she pops one in his mouth, and he says, "Delicious," said Jefferson Bear. That afternoon, loud squeals woke Jefferson Bear from his sleep. He was taking a nap, it looks like in the cave under some rocks maybe. And he heard this noise like a squeal, like yelp, 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 yelp. It got louder and louder. And he thought, "Oh my goodness, I'm coming," he bellowed. "Oh, I'm coming," he bellowed. "What's the matter?" He thought it sounded like his friend, Figgy. Well, sure enough, he found Figgy Two Socks lying on the ground. "Aw, you've got a thorn in your foot. Hold still and I'll take it out." Little Figgy's crying. Look at that thorn in her foot. That's a big thorn. And look at his concern for his dear friend. Isn't that sweet? He says, "I'll take it out." And Figgy says, "Will it hurt?" and he says, Jefferson says, "I'll be as gentle as I can." And you know he will be, right? Now, a bear has big, big hands, paws, right? Do you think that he could take a teeny little thorn out with that big, wide paw? No, he couldn't. Not very easily anyway. So you know what he uses? His teeth. And look at this. I'll show you the picture in a second. Figgy Two Socks was frightened when she saw her friend's sharp teeth. She lay still, very still. Jefferson Bear closed his teeth around the thorn and he pulled. Here's a picture of her. Oh, oh, oh. Here he is. Does he look kind of scary? She's like, but she knew she could trust him. Now, a wild bear may look like that normally. This is a children's book about a bear and a fox that are friends. And this bear is going to be nice. And he's going to put his teeth around that little thorn and go pull it right out. And sure enough, as soon as it was out, Figgy Two Socks jumped up and pranced around. See how happy she looks? She's kind of like prancing, sort of like dancing around, right? That was very nice of him to help her. You know, thorns can really hurt. And you don't want to step on them because that makes it worse. They could go in farther. Oh, thank you, JB, she said. Thank you for helping me. That's what friends are for, said Jefferson Bear. Look at her. She's so happy. She's swinging from the tree. And she's kind of more on eye level with him there. And they just are enjoying being good friends because he helped her. And she says thank you. And he's happy too. Friends do that kind of thing. Well, the next afternoon, Jefferson Bear was dozing in the sun. And Figgy Two Socks wanted to play with him. So, see, he's like, bears can snore sometimes. And here comes Figgy Two Socks. She crept up behind him and yelled. What'd she say? Boo! B-O-O exclamation mark means she said it kind of loud and the letters are big to let us know that she snuck up and then yelled that big loud boo. Now, do you think Jefferson Bear woke up? Jefferson Bear nearly jumped out of his wobbly fur. Figgy Two Socks ran around and around squealing. Ha ha! I made you jump, and she laughed and waved her tail around. There's not a picture of her jumping around, just her saying boo. But you can see that Jefferson Bear was kind of startled and surprised and, Jefferson Bear, he didn't think it was funny. What do you think if you were sleeping soundly and someone scared you like that? I don't know if I'd like it either. And you know what he said? Figgy Two Socks, go away. You have made me cross. But I want to play, said Figgy Two Socks. And I want to sleep, said Jefferson Bear. A big brown bear needs his sleep. And a little red fox needs her play, said Figgy Two Socks. Then go and play somewhere else, said Jefferson Bear. There they are. Jefferson's kind of yelling, and she's kind of like, I want to play. Not now. Go play somewhere else. I need my sleep. Oh, you're not my friend anymore, said Figgy Two Socks. And sadly, she trudged off. Look, she's got her head down, her little white paws in the front. She's trudging away through the woods. Well, what do you think about that? Let's see what happens. When Jefferson Bear woke up the next morning, he felt sorry that he had upset his friend. And he thought, actually he said to himself, I will play with her today. But Figgy Two Socks stayed away. So here he is waking up in the cave the next morning and sitting on the rock and wanting to find Figgy to play with her and make her feel better. Well, when he couldn't find her, Jefferson Bear began to worry. He went to her den where she lived and he called, Figgy Two Socks, it's Jefferson Bear. Are you all right? No answer. No answer at all. There he is, yelling into the little hole where she lives under the tree. But no answer. Jefferson Bear's worry grew. He walked to the edge of the river, and he called again. "Where are you, Figgy Two Socks?" There he is. He's calling to see where she could be. Right by a river. That's a little bit dangerous there. He's up on the rocks. But when he called her name, there was no answer. Jefferson Bear's worry grew bigger. He really cared about her, and he wanted to know where she was. He walked through the woods calling, "Come out, Figgy Two Socks. It's me, Jefferson Bear." But there was still no answer. See, there he's going through the woods. See all the nice plants and trees, but no Figgy Two Socks. At last, he came to the hollow tree where they had played hide and seek. Remember in the beginning of the book where she hid? And he saw the tip of her tail sticking out. Look, there's a little reddish-brown fur and the white tip. Remember that? He thought he found her. He said, "Figgy Two Socks, is that you?" he called. "It's JB." He listened. He thought he heard something. He listened again and was sure he heard something. It was a sniff. The sniff grew louder and louder and louder until into a great big "oh!" Look at there, he's listening, and he hears the sniffing and the big sob. "Figgy Two Socks," said Jefferson Bear. "Yes," sobbed Figgy Two Socks. "Please come out," said Jefferson Bear. "I miss you." "I'm sorry, JB," said Figgy Two Socks. "I didn't mean to make you cross." There they are talking, see? He talking to his tail there. And then she turned around and they talked face to face. So she said, "I'm sorry." And he said, "And I'm sorry I was so grumpy," said Jefferson Bear. "Let's go and play." "JB," sniffed Figgy Two Socks. Does that mean you're still my friend?" There. He came out of the hole and they're talking. What do you think JB said when Figgy said, are you still my friend? What do you think he said? "Of course I'm still your friend," said Jefferson Bear. "A friend is forever." And there they are. Looks like the moon's coming out, and they're happy being together, and they'll always be friends. They had to learn, didn't they? That is the end, by the way. Here they are together. They had to learn what friendship is all about. And sometimes that involves having a little problem with each other and then talking it over and saying, "I'm sorry." But it also involves sharing and playing and caring. So, I hope you enjoyed the book, and I'll see you soon. Love you.